Hello and welcome to the Transform Awards Europe 2026, where I'm delighted to be joined now by Sean O'Donovan, who's the Creative Director at Boundless Brand Design. Now, Sean, you guys have been shortlisted in 3 categories tonight for 3 different projects, which is very exciting. But first of all, maybe you could tell me a little bit about Boundless and what it is as an agency that you guys specialise in within the world of brand design.
Yeah, so at Boundless, we essentially manage everything from branding and brand identity to packaging design like bottles, all the way through to sort of retail design, really the kind of whole holistic brand world, and really just focus on, single-minded ideas that try to differentiate our brands versus the wider categories that they're in.
Absolutely. Is there like a philosophy that you guys take into your work that helps you differentiate yourselves compared to your competitors? Because as we know, there's so many brand design
Yeah.
agencies these days.
Yeah. I guess it's really just trying to focus on, what is the absolute most unique thing about every brand we work for, and then sort of being able to build a distinctive brand world around that thing, around that story, really bringing that to life across, as many touch points as we can. And that's, really about creating those unique brand worlds that our consumers can sort of connect with.
Absolutely. And one of those clients that you're able to do that for was CO2 U. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about the clients and why they needed help from you guys in the first place.
Yeah, so just a bit of context, it's CO2 is a sort of they supply gas cylinders for at-home sparkling water. And there's a lot of brands out there that do that, but they're a great brand because they really identified a sort of unserved consumer. And the way they do that is by not only delivering the canisters but collecting them as well. So really helping those who live in cities who might find it hard to find places to drop off these canisters. But I guess the issue there is, another brand could come along and provide the exact same service, and then they have a problem.
Mm.
So what we look to do is, whilst they had this sort of really good footing, is establish a really sort of unique brand identity for them, which really spoke to our kind of city-centric consumer, and create this sort of brand identity with a really sort of bubbly and fun personality that's going to sort of firstly differentiate them from everything else out there at the moment, but also really cement them as a brand that people think of when they think of at-home sparkling water going forward, and make their sort of position much stronger commercially going forward.
Awesome. What did you find to be the biggest challenge on that project in particular?
So I guess it's, starting off, it's a very sort of functional thing. They supply these gas cylinders and they provide a great service. But it's really about, how do you take that function and go beyond that? So you're not just talking about, a commodity or a service or being reduced to a price point or speed of delivery, but actually creating something unique and a brand that people can connect to.
Mm. And just moving on to another one of your clients that you're shortlisted with at tonight's awards, Hendrix Watering Can.
Mhm.
Really interesting project that we were just talking about, but maybe you could tell me a little bit more in detail about the clients and what they were trying to achieve here.
Yeah, so Hendrix obviously a very unique brand. I've got this amazing black unique bottle that kind of everyone knows within, people that like gin will know of Hendrix. And really they sort of came to us with a kind of challenge of, how do we create a gift that people will actually want to keep? So, not just creating another piece of throwaway packaging, but creating a desirable object that will have second use for various different things. So it was really thinking about, what the products could be used for. It's sort of a mix of a few things. There's conviviality, so we want to create something that people can use in a serving occasion, something that people get excited around. There's cucumbers, which is a unique ingredient in Hendrix gin. And there's also, as I say, the bottle itself. So it was really about combining those 3 things to create this really quite fun, quirky, unique object, which was the watering can, which can be, used to serve drinks. It can be used to water botanicals and cucumber plants, and obviously holds on to that really unique Hendrix bottle as well.
Mm.
So kind of working on lots of different levels.
That's really super. And what sparked the actual creative idea in that project?
It was really kind of born out of the brand identity of Hendrix. As I say, they've got this really interesting, kind of unique Victorian brand world. Everything's super quirky and fun. So yeah, it's just, as I say, trying to come up with a gift idea that is going to be reusable and that feels like it could have come out of that world.
And just moving on to the final project that you're shortlisted with at tonight's awards, Double Dutch. Why was it that they wanted to sort of redesign their bottle in the first place, and how did you go about that?
Yeah, so we kind of started with Double Dutch a number of years back. We sort of did a whole new brand identity for them. And the whole aim of that identity was to really differentiate them within a category where everything was kind of looking the same in the tonic waters category. But the founders, the two Dutch twins, and the flavors they create are very unique, very big personalities. So we really wanted to get that across in everything from the illustrations on the labels to the actual bottle design itself. But at the same time, we've got to be economical. It's they want it to be the lightest bottle on the market as well. So, and also very premium. So there's a lot of challenges to creatively solve, but that those sort of constraints can sometimes help. Once you know your guidelines, you can come up with some really interesting solutions within that. So
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, really trying to create something unique and ownable to them, but something realistic at the same time.
Well, I think you've achieved just that. But maybe you could tell me a little bit about the outcome for the clients. How has this set them up for the future?
Yeah, as I say, so they are very big on in the on trade in bars and stuff like that. So creating a real bespoke bottle for them that feels very unique and premium really lends itself to that occasion. When it's pulled out at the bar, when it's used to make drinks, it's quite eye catching. It feels great in the hand. It's very sort of memorable when you see it, and really sort of sets a mood and sets a kind of personality for the brand in that sort of short space of time that you may get to interact with it.
Super. Well, Sean, thank you so much for your time and best of luck at tonight's awards across those three categories.
Thank you. Thank you.